people that tell you can't do something, sometimes that can, make you lack self-confidence, whereas it kind of instill a deeper self-confidence in me because I definitely wanted to prove everybody wrong. So, but I mean, it was icons out there, Randall Cunningham, Warren Moon, Doug Williams. I had seen, guys that looked like me be able to make it. And that's what I wanted to be, man. I actually thought I wanted to play basketball. But it's funny in life, when you expose yourself to a lot of different things, you end up gravitating to what you're best at.
That's right.
So I ended up being best at football, so I rolled with it. It was times. Now listen, Bobby Bowden, Steve Spurrier.
Yes, sir.
Sat on my couch in St. Pete, offered me a full scholarship to play safety. And I looked at both of them. We're very respectful. I hadn't tackled anybody on an interception. I didn't play defense. I didn't know what they were talking about.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, CDL Cigar and Golf. We are here at the beautiful Tapping Ass Cigar Lounge. Melvin and Michelle run this building. Exceptional building. Look, I got a special guest in the building with me today, man. Former NFL quarterback, St. Pete's finest. Right here, man, Mr. Shaun King. What's going on?
Hey,
with you,
man,
big
welcome, man.
Yes,
Thanks for
indeed,
having me,
man.
man.
Appreciate
Blessed and
you,
highly
man.
favored.
Yes, sir. At all times.
Hopefully
man.
the weather cooperate and we can get back and play some golf here in the
Look,
next
man,
30
we
days.
need to.
Yeah.
Look, it's because it's been blazing. Look, I get those early tee times, man, especially during the summer. I try to get that. I don't try to go past 7 o'clock. If I don't get it
See, I'm such a good golfer. I want everybody to see my game, so I don't like to play for everybody to get to the course.
That's it. I can dig it, man. Look, let's get into it, man. Look, born and raised, St. Pete, Tampa area, man. Tell the people what it was like for you growing up in the St. Pete, Tampa area.
Well, being from Florida, I mean, you grow up around sports and competitive sports. It's definitely not everybody get a award, type of state. So I would imagine majority of the young people in that state that look like me got a goal of playing National Football League.
That's right.
And it's just so fortunate, because there's so many great players down there to be able to, compete at that level from a little kid and never get discouraged, understand how to handle failure as well as success, and then the ball bounce your way. Fortunate, I had both parents, very supportive. And I really had the support of my community as well. Like, I think one of the misperceptions, when it comes to young black men in certain environments, that environment won't consume you if you show that environment that you're trying to do something else. And so even though I grew up in the midst of it, a lot of times I was insulated because I was trying to do the right thing, go to class, work my butt off, So shout out to St. Pete.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to my folks, man. Yeah, man, I'm blessed to be sitting here.
Absolutely, man. Look, what inspired you to get into the game of football? I know, we all have our reasons and people that we saw and, things of that nature. But what inspired you to say, what? I want to play in the National Football League. I'm going to play in the National Football League.
That's a great question. You have so many people that tell you can't do something. Sometimes that can, make you lack self-confidence, whereas it kind of instill a deeper self-confidence in me because I definitely wanted to prove everybody wrong. So, but I mean, it was icons out there, Randall Cunningham, Warren Moon, Doug Williams. I had seen, guys that looked like me be able to make it. And that's what I wanted to be, man. I actually thought I wanted to play basketball. But it's funny in life, when you expose yourself to a lot of different things, you end up gravitating to what you're best at.
That's right.
So I ended up being best at football, so I rolled with it. It was times. Now listen, Bobby Bowden, Steve Spurrier.
Yes, sir.
Sat on my couch in St. Pete, offered me a full scholarship to play safety. You know, and I looked at both of them. We're very respectful. I hadn't tackled anybody on an interception. I didn't play defense. I didn't know what they were talking about. But you look at it now, and there's a sense of pride that, like, that group, you know, myself, Donovan McNabb, Dante Culpepper, Aaron Brooks, Keely Smith, you know, that whole group kind of created, like, what you see now is normal.
Real. That's real, man. So you get to high school, and you end up, you know, of course, doing well in high school, and you go off to Tulane. Right. Tell us about your time at Tulane and how it shaped you moving forward to become an NFL quarterback.
So, for context, my senior year of high school was 95. The top 2 quarterbacks in the state of Florida were me and Dante Culpepper. And Culpepper went to Central Florida. I went to Tulane. So just as a black quarterback, you didn't get a lot of opportunities to go to a big-time college and actually get to play quarterback. So, you know, I never forget Florida State signed Dan Kendra. Florida signed Bobby Sablehouse. And Miami signed Scott Clement and Scott Covington that year at quarterback. And me and Dante was sitting there, and, you know, I guess they thought me and him were defensive players. So, you know, always a lot of love for Tulane because they believed in my dream. They believed in me. But that wasn't always smooth sailing. You know, my first 2 years there, we were 4-18. And the message in that is, man, hey, if you got to be able to handle the bad and the good.
That's right.
And I was fortunate enough to coach at one point. I used to tell my players all the time, you know, you don't become great by running.
That's right.
You know, you really grow up when you in a situation that may not, you know, be successful, but you know the work is there. And we were able to pull it out, end up going undefeated my last year. So, you know, that process, I wouldn't get that back for anything in the world. And, you know, my message to all these young guys that are transferring and, you know, the minute they don't get it the way they want it, they go somewhere else.
Portal hot, man.
And life going to be hot. Life going to be hard, man.
Yeah.
Like, it's just something about the person that's willing to fight through and do what people don't think could be done.
That's a real
you know, that's how the special moments are created. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a real
Now,
thing.
you don't get no joy out of going over there with the team that's already winning.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I know for me, man, I can attest to that, you know, to what you're saying because, you know, out of high school, I played JUCO football, man, and I went to a school that I had never heard of, man, College of the Sequoias, man, and it'll be in Visalia, California.
Yeah.
And when my dad dropped me off, I said, is he really leaving?
Yeah.
Like, fam, about to dip on me? But I'm glad that happened, man, because it shaped me into the man that I am right now, and I wouldn't take it back for the world.
That's right, man. He raised you. It was time to go grow up.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was, no question.
Shout out to all the cats in JUCO out there, too,
yes,
man.
Sir. Yes, sir. Tons of them make it to the league. I tell these kids all the time, oh, man, I don't want to go to no JUCO. I said, if you just look at a list of football players that played at the professional level, a good portion of them played junior college football. Man. A good portion of them. Yeah. For sure, man. So I try not to, you know, I don't discourage them, you know, from going to JUCO route, man.
You can make it out there, Cam Newton.
Absolutely. Come on, man. Tons of people. And we can name a ton, man. I know Chad Johnson went the JUCO route. I mean, we can sit here and name a bunch of guys, man. But you get to the league, your rookie year, what was your welcome to the NFL rookie moment?
So week 1.
Right off the bat.
Yeah.
Right off the bat.
And understand, like, I know we're in 2024 now, but this is 1999.
Yes, sir.
You got to think, when I got to Tampa, of course we didn't know it then, but ultimately it ended up being 5 Hall of Famers in the building. You know, Warren Sapp, Derrick Brooks, John Lynch, Rondé Barber, Tony Dungy.
Dogs.
So the core had already been, you know, implemented there.
Yeah.
We were picking to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Like all those years. And game 1 is about to kick off. We're in the locker room. I'm in my locker. You're Trent Dilfer. Trent Dilfer looks at me.
State right there.
Yeah, shout out to the Valley.
Shout out to the Valley, man.
Trent, my boy Lil O'Neal too. Yeah, I know some good people from the Valley.
Sir.
Trent looks at me and he's smiling. I was like, "What's up, big dog?" And he said, "I just got great news." I was like, "What's that?" He said, "Coach say they introducing the defense." And the home opener, Trent was so terrified. they were going to announce the offense, and the fans are going to boo him.
Wow.
Because he has such an up and down career that that's what his mind was. That was my introduction.
Wow.
But okay, this is going to be a little different. And he proceeded
crazy.
to throw 4 interceptions that day, so they booed him anyway.
He got booed anyway. You took the L anyway. You was worried about the L and then threw 4 picks. That's crazy. That's wild right there. That's nuts, man. No, man, look, man, we appreciate everybody chiming in, man. CDL Cigar and Golf, man. Links and legends, man. I got my guy right here, man, former NFL quarterback, Mr. Shaun King in the building. So, making that transformation, what was the difficulty or even the easy part about making the transformation from college to the professional level?
Well, the easy part is it's just football.
Yeah, that's right.
The hard part is everybody's good. You know, in college, if you got a good team, you know, you look at your schedule, there might be 2, 3 teams that can match you guys talent for talent. In the NFL, everybody's good.
Yeah.
Like, even the teams that may not be successful record-wise, they got good players. And, you know, you really have to prepare at a different level because it's in the minutia of the information are where you create margins and give yourself a chance for success. So, like, I really had to, I'd always been a guy that was really smart, always knew our offense, but really having to learn what other teams are trying to do. You know, when you need a veteran to do that. You know, you see all these young quarterbacks now, big expectations. They're big celebrities because of the social media and ability to, you know, get information and get highlights to the masses. You know, they're more well known, but at the end of the day, it's still the same process. You got to put the work in, and, you know, that was where I really had to learn, you know, not because I wasn't doing what it took to win in college, but you had to learn how to do it at an even higher level.
Yeah. Absolutely, man. Look, what can you share, a memorable moment that kind of shaped you as an NFL quarterback, or just as a person, period, that happened to you while you were active?
Well, on the personal side, as far as playing, first start Monday Night Football. Dun, 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 dun,
oh my gosh!
I'm talking about
that's crazy.
Minnesota Vikings.
Ooh.
You got Randy Moss coming in
over
town,
there.
Chris Carter,
Oh my God.
Denny Green, John Randall,
God.
and
wow.
I wasn't nervous. Like, I had put the work in, even when I was backing up and wasn't playing. You know, I was prepared for that moment, and, you know, I was really proud of myself.
Yeah.
That, you know, because it's easy when you're not playing, you know, to kind of,
oh yeah,
all right, I know it, but you know when you really know what's happening, and, you know, when you kind of don't. So I just was extremely proud of myself. We won the game. I threw 2 touchdowns.
Yes, sir.
You know, and you looked up in the stands afterwards, because I was oblivious to everything.
Oh yeah.
But after the game, the whole stadium had on Burger King hats. They used to make the Burger King crowns, and I was like,
that's love.
This pretty neat, man.
That's love.
Yeah. So that was big time. But I think I was most proud of how I handled those times when I wasn't the starter, and never taking it out on the people in the room.
Yes, sir.
You know, as an athlete, when it's not your turn, it's easy to get envy and hate and jealousy, you know, inside of you. And, you know, the same support I got when I was a starter, I always gave whoever was a starter, and that ain't easy to do.
Oh no.
You know,
Oh no.
To be in the game and, you know, that person not have success, to be able to say, how can I help them be more successful, as opposed to that should be me.
Right.
You know, that takes a lot of maturity and growth. And,
yes, it does.
you know, I'm really proud, and I was able to do that no matter which slot I was in that room.
That's real, man. That's real. Look, man, y'all tuned in, man. CDL Cigar and Golf, Links and Legends. I'm your host, Donnell Thomas, man. I'm here with the great Shaun King, man.
DT.
Yes, sir, man. Look, just switching gears for a little bit, man. We want to talk to the young athletes, because we in the time, man, where social media is, it kind of dictates everything. Mental preparedness. What advice do you have for a young athlete that struggles with mental preparedness, man? Because of the distractions, because of outside influence and what goes on. What advice do you have for a young athlete to essentially just stay focused.
You have to master the controllables.
Yeah.
You know, you got to control the things you can control, and you know, to simplify that, that's you.
Yes, sir.
Like it's so
Yes, sir.
easy when everybody you think they're supporting you to become complacent, to become entitled. You know, that's when you stop growing.
Yeah.
And the competition never stops.
Yeah.
You know, people trying to take your spot.
Oh, yeah.
There's people that's 4 years younger than you that's going to eventually be trying to take your spot. So just finding a way to continue to try to be the best version of you.
Yeah, man.
You know, not ever feel like you've made it. You know, just keep working like you were when you had that chip on your shoulder. That's the advice I would give, because you got one highlight that goes viral, that don't make you a good player.
Right.
Absolutely. You know, because you have one successful season statistically, that don't make you a good player. You know, you want to work so that you're a player that they never forget.
That's right.
And you can only do that over a period of time. That don't happen in 1 year, 2 year.
That's right.
You know, it's so hard for these young kids because, you know, they have a great game or they make a great play and the right algorithm catch it, and you know, all of a sudden,
it's a million views.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You know, now they think they big time,
Absolutely.
man. Every level, like
Yeah.
you're gonna have to reestablish yourself. So when I do speak to young athletes, that's what I tell them. Like, okay, you've done good to get to this point, but are you willing to put the work in to get to where you really want to go?
That's right. That's right, man. Look, how do you think the NFL has evolved from the time you were in the league, and even before that, up till now, outside of, you know, rule changes and things like that? Because I know, you know, me being in my early 40s, I saw a lot of the rugged football, and of course, you know, you being a little older, you saw a little bit more than I did. So how do you think the game has evolved, and has it been a good or a bad or indifferent thing?
Well, there's a lot more money now, so the guys are getting to much bigger bags. They're getting to the bag prior to probably earning it.
Sure.
So that, I mean, the NFL is still king because it's parity.
No doubt.
Because of the way that it's set up from a business model standpoint. The salary cap, you know, kind of forces everyone to create a roster the same way. You know, you got to draft well, you got to develop.
Absolutely.
You know, you got to figure out how you're going to allocate your resources. You can't just go out and buy a championship.
That's real.
But I would challenge the guys, like, the only thing people remember are championships.
That's real.
Like,
how many Lombardis you hold up?
Nobody remembers who was the rushing leader 2 years ago.
That's real.
Or who threw for the most passing yards last year.
That's
like, we remember Patrick Mahomes, and the Chiefs beat the Niners. So, like, you know, I feel like, you know, some of these guys, like, they have a season and, you know, they feel like they Jerry Rice or they Warren Sapp. You know, like, it's about consistently doing it at that level over a career. So, but, I mean, NFL is as big as it's ever been.
Absolutely. No doubt about it, man. I fully agree with that, man. When you mentioned, you know, guys getting to the bigger bag, man. You know, we
they getting paid, dog.
They getting paid.
Oh, yeah.
They getting big money. And you know, I think they're being protected more. And what I mean by, you know, these owners are really protecting their assets now.
Depending on what position you play.
Right, because they're not protecting these running backs. They really don't care.
It's a lot of discrimination in the NFL based on your position.
Exactly. I fully agree with that, brother. Big time, man. Last question for you, man. No. I got one more.
Okay.
Teammates. Who are some of your favorite teammates that you got a chance to take that gridiron with?
All of them.
Yeah.
I mean, I played with so many greats. You know, like I mentioned, when I got to Tampa, I mean, we had 4 Hall of Famers.
Yes, sir.
You know, Mike Allstott was there. Played with Keyshawn Johnson.
Oh, my God.
You know, I went to Indianapolis. I played with Marvin Harrison and Peyton Manning and Reggie Wayne.
Wow.
Edgerrin James. You know, I went to Arizona, played with Larry Fitzgerald, Anquan Bolden. Got to play with Emmitt Smith.
Yes, sir.
You know, so, I mean, played with a bunch of great guys, man. You know, that locker room is so organic.
Crazy.
You know, ain't no political correctness in there.
That's real.
You don't allow you to be sensitive.
That's real.
So, I mean.
You can't. It's impossible to be sensitive in the NFL locker room. You just can't do it, man.
Yeah, so, I mean, a bunch of them, man. Shout out to everybody, man. We had some good times.
That's real. That's a real thing, man. Look, last question, man. Advice for the young athlete of today. What advice would you give them about how to navigate the different levels, you know, from high school to college and into the professional ranks?
So I always believe this. If you do everything right, and I'm talking about from a preparation standpoint, there's no guarantee that you're going to be successful.
That's right.
But I can guarantee you, if you don't do everything right and you cut corners, you're going to get exposed when everybody's watching.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so you know when you're putting the work in and you know when you're not. You know, my thing is work.
Yes, sir.
Like work, physically, mentally, emotionally. You know, to be a pro athlete, you got to have bulletproof emotions.
That's real.
You know, I truly believe Kevin Durant and LeBron James, because of their level of sensitivity, haven't really won as many titles as they could have. Because they allow the outside noise to infiltrate their being. You know, think about the guys that have really won. Tom Brady, bulletproof emotions. Patrick Mahomes, bulletproof emotions.
Don't care.
Aaron Rodgers is more talented than both of them. But he's sensitive. He responds to the critics. He allows what the critics say. You know, I see that in Lamar Jackson a lot. Like instead of him, God gifted him with so much ability.
Absolutely.
You know, sometimes instead of using it, you can see he's trying to prove to the critics that I can stand here and do this the way that y'all say I can't. And
play your game.
Yeah, play your game, man. Prepare yourself, work your ass off, be humble.
That's it.
You know, be humble. You know, take the time to enjoy the moments. You know, really, I think take a look at the criticism. A lot of times there's truth in it. It's not just malice. You know, sometimes they're telling the truth.
Come on now.
And, you know, the truth don't have emotion. So,
absolutely.
You know, that would be my advice. Work your ass off, stay humble, and just understand, like, it's always somebody else coming.
Sir.
You know,
somebody working their ass
think
off,
about
man,
Tom Brady,
like
perfect example. Like, people forgot about him.
Totally.
On Sunday, they got more viewers than they ever had.
Yeah. True story. That's a fact. That's a fact, man. Look, I want to thank you, man, from the bottom of my heart, bro. It's a long time coming.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you for having me, man. Yeah.
Look, man, Links and Legends, CDL Cigar and Golf.
DT.
I got the great Shaun King in the building with me, man. We appreciate everybody chiming in. See y'all next time, man.
Blessings.
Peace and love.